Today I will be going over two coding assignments related to arrays. The first assignment is about a 1-day array, and the second one is about the 2D array. So for the 1-day array, I used two of these YouTube videos to get the help. In this assignment, we were basically asked to enter the size of the array that would let me see, enter the size of the array that would be stored and return any of the random values as its output. So to begin with, I have two integer values, or variables, my bad, integer array size and num. This statement, enter the size of the array, asks for entering the size of the array, and then this one shows what size has been entered, and after that this for loop loops that size that's been entered into integer x. Integer x is basically the array that stores the array size, and over here I have an index that loops with the length of the array x. And then I have used a random class or method, my bad, I don't know which one it is exactly, but I have used this template, this function, basically to generate a random value. And this part does the generation of the random value. After that, I have a Boolean statement that shows true if number is equal to the number of the iteration stored in the array x. If it's not found, the index stored in the array x will be equalized to num, else it will be not minimized, it will be, what's that called, decreased or something. Like, it will be the opposite of iteration. It will go back, it will not increase, it will decrease. And then after that, once the working is done over here, this for loop, the second one that I put over here, will iterate against the length of the array of the integer x array, and it will show its final contents. So let me run this code to give a proper explanation, or a clear one. Let's run it. Let me put 5 as the size of the array, and so I have put 5 as the size of the array, which is shown over here, and then these are the contents of that array. The reason why it's showing us 5 numbers is because I have used a math random function or method to generate any of the 5 numbers. It cannot generate any repeating numbers, it cannot generate a 0 or something. If it does, it will not show any output. Let me give you an example. So let's suppose if I put 0 here, it will not do anything. It will just show the print statements, but it will not show any output. Why? Because 0 is nothing. Like, 0 has no value, it's null. So why would there be any output for that. And I want to correct, this is basically, this logic that I put over here has been used to stop the repetition of the same number. That's why we did not see any repeated numbers for this code. Now I'm gonna talk about the 2D array. So let's slide this over to the right side. So it's the same concept as the last one. Let me make slide over. Never mind. In this one, we were supposed to create a 2D array that would store the number of the rows, the number of the columns in its 2D array. So these are stored here, rows and columns, and then whatever the entry is put, it's shown finally over here. And after that, it's the same concept as for loop, the primary for loop, and the one that's inside the nested one. It generates those random numbers, and this I did not use any math random because I was not too comfortable. I used the random method for this, or the random function, to do a generation of any of the random numbers. And then after that, this does the calculation. This generates the numbers, and this also and this for loop, my bad, shows the random numbers in its function. And here are, so this print statement shows the contents of that array in a spiral order, and this is the spiral method that I've used. I got 3 parameters or arguments. One is for the rows, columns, and the size. Integer I is basically the iterator. R is basically a random iterator, also iterator, and C is also an iterator. And these in the bottom, these are the indexes. So K, let me see. I believe I done a mistake here. Let me look for K. What is K over here? Oh, sorry. This is supposed to be R. So R is basically the starting row index. Let me properly format this. And then M is the ending row index. L is the starting column index, and I have to rename this to C. And N is the ending column index. I is the iterator, as discussed earlier, and I have used a while loop that loops against the that basically has R less than R, which is my row index, that is less than the ending row index, and C as my column index, that is less than the ending column index. So while R and C are less than their ending row index and column index values, it will be working on this loop. So this for loop is basically storing the values while they are less than their ending row and column index values. This for loop will be equal to, let me see, I'm a little lost here. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So this for loop over here, it prints the first row from the remaining rows, and after that, this one over here, once it prints, it increases the value of R, the starting one, and then this one prints the last column from the remaining columns, and it decreases the value. This one, if R is less than M, it prints the last row from the remaining rows, and this one prints the first column from the remaining columns if C is less than N. So I'm gonna run this code and show you how it works. There you go. This is how it's working. So I've entered the number of rows and the number of columns, and it's a 5-row and a 5-column table. There are 5 values in the column side and 5 values in the row side, and these are the random numbers, and these are the contents displayed in the spiral order. So if I put 0, it will, oh never mind, if I put 0, and 0 again, it will not do anything because it's a null value, so it has nothing to do with it. If I put 0 and 1, it will be nothing as well. So that concludes my video. Thank you.